Hi guys, my name's Alberto, aka Destroyer 48. um, Welcome to my movie review of Beetlejuice, the 2024 Beetlejuice movie. Um, I'm not gonna give a spoiler alert ending, just the ending. I'm not gonna spoil it for you guys. Uh, so let's just jump into it. This is the review for Beetlejuice 2000, the new Beetlejuice 2024 movie. So let's get started. You're gonna start in the beginning where Lydia has some ghoul show and she's talking in front of a live studio audience. She has two guests. She's talking to them, doing her ghoul show thing, and she's gonna see like Beetlejuice somewhere, and then she's startled, and then she has to leave the show. She leaves to the restroom, and then she is followed by Rory, which is her boyfriend, and possible fiance, which we will find out later. Um, so she's taking. So Lydia wants to go to the restroom. She wants to take some pills. Roy stops her and says, "I thought you weren't gonna do that." And then Lydia's like, "Come on, just for today." And then Roy's like, "Okay, I'll do it with you." And they both take some pills. And I guess it's probably some pills that antidepressants or something that is gonna suppress. I guess it would try to suppress the visions that Lydia's having that Beetlejuice has returned because she sees Beetlejuice every now and then. So that's going on, and it's gonna be like two stories of Beetlejuice because now we're gonna have Dolores. Dolores is like some ghoul that used to be was married to Beetlejuice, so it's Beetlejuice's ex-wife, and she comes about in in the world of the dead, and she's gonna try to locate Beetlejuice, and on the way she's gonna start. She's actually killing dead people. How can you kill them if they're dead already? But she is known as a soul sucker. She'll like open her mouth and go to ghouls and suck their souls and stuff like that. So now we get back um, to Lydia. Lydia has a daughter now called called Aster, which is a really dumb name. No offense to any of y'all have the name Aster. I've never met anybody with the name Aster or even seen on TV or movies anybody called Aster. So I don't know. It's kind of weird. I didn't think Delia was that weird to name her kid that weird. I don't know. I just think it's uncool. Anyways, again, Aster is Lydia's daughter, and she goes to private school. Lydia is gonna take her out of private school because it turns out that Lydia's dad Howard has died, and so they take her Aster out of private school to go attend a funeral at the old house, the one from Beetlejuice from the 1988 film. Um, so yeah, they're gonna go to that house, and when they get to the house, it is said that Adam and Barbara from the ghosts from part one that they have moved on. They are no longer there. I don't know how that's gonna happen. I mean, they're ghosts. Don't think stay in the same place. Oh well. But that's what's going on. Somehow Barbara and Adam are not there. They have moved on. Lydia has said. So now we got Lydia and we got Aster at the old house now. They took her out of private school, like I said, and they have Lydia's stepmom, um, Delia, there. She is there as well. So they attend Howard's funeral, and it turns out that Howard, which would be Aster's grandfather, and Delia's uh, deceased husband, and Lydia's dad, they're at his funeral, and it turns out that Howard has been that he got bit by a shark, and it bit him from the chest up. So he had no when the shark bit him. It bit him from the chest up, so he has no chest, no head. He only has his shoulders or whatever. It has been told. Delia also has an art place gallery somewhere, I guess in town. But after the funeral, it's gonna turn out that Lydia has upset her daughter Aster, and then Aster takes off in her bike. She's mad at Lydia for a lot of reasons, man. Um, and Aster does look gothic. She looks like Lydia, just like in mourning all the time. And Lydia's been like that since the 1988 films. It's always sad and everything. So Aster takes off on her bike, mad at Lydia, and then she runs. She rides into town. I think she almost hits a truck or something, and she avoids the truck and or vehicle, and then she hits a fence, and it goes down to like somebody's yard and or somewhere in the backwoods, and she lands near a tree house, and then some guy comes out called Jeremy Fraser. He's in the treehouse and he's like, "Are you okay?" And Lydia's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And they start talking and they become friends. And then as time goes on, you see that they're starting to like each other. They have stuff in common, all that. After that, Lydia goes home, and then she meets up with Jeremy again. And then Jeremy says, "Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and invite you to go spend Halloween at my house. I mean, we can give kids candy or something, or watch a movie or something like that." And I think it doesn't even show Lydia saying yes. I think it just changes. But as far as I remember, 'cause I've only seen this once. But Aster goes back to her house and then ends up asking Lydia, "Hey, can I go spend Halloween with this boy, Jeremy Fraser?" So she's like, "Okay." Lydia takes Aster to Jeremy Fraser's house. Oh, and by the way, Beetlejuice pops up every now and then, Lydia keeps seeing him in places. But anyways, um, so yeah, Lydia's gonna take Aster in the car and take her Jeremy Fraser's house. They get there at the house, and Lydia's like, "Hey, am I getting out?" And Aster's like, "No, you don't have to get off." And she's like, "Yeah, I have to." And she's like, "No, I'll be fine." So Lydia's like, "Okay." Yeah, because Lydia wants to meet the parents of Jeremy. That's just the thing to do to be safe. But Aster says, "No, I'll be fine." So Lydia doesn't get off to meet the parents. So Lydia takes off in the car. Aster goes to inside Jeremy's house, and Jeremy's like, "Hey, this is my parents." And you can barely see him. It looks like the dad's watching TV, and then the mom's cooking. Um, Aster goes into. They go and Jeremy go up to his room, and they're hanging out there. Um, and we got. There's a part I don't know what to say first. There's two things going on. I will tell you right now. I'm deciding what you're gonna say first. Well, I guess I'll go with Aster and Jeremy. Jeremy ends up telling Lydia and showing that he is a ghost. He is dead already, and they do explain that just like the Beetlejuice movie, like certain people can see dead people, Lydia is able to see Jeremy, but Jeremy's actually dead. And Jeremy's like, I'm ghost, I'm the undead, and all that. I kind of lied to you, kind of deal. And Aster's like shocked, and Jeremy says, "There's a way you can help me become living, but you have to go with me to the world of the dead. There's this book that's gonna help us get there." And Jeremy's like, "Aster, I need you to help me." And Aster's like, "Okay." And Jeremy says, "You know what?" He tries to con her in it, kind of. He's like, or tell her, "Hey, you get to see everything's getting suspicious." And Jeremy tells Aster, "Hey, you can go see your dad. You can go see your dad. So let's do it." And then Aster agrees. Back with Lydia at her house, Lydia's talking to a neighborhood friend, and the neighbor, uh, Lydia's like, "Hey, I just dropped off Aster with I don't know, with Jeremy." And the neighbor's like, "Jeremy Fraser?" She's like, "Yeah, I guess that's him." And at that house, they're like, "Yeah, I dropped him off at that house. The neighbor knows the location." She goes, "Yeah, I know about Jeremy Fraser. How could it be? Jeremy Fraser's dead." And that Jeremy Fraser had killed his parents, and then he died himself. And it is like, "Oh my gosh, I need to go over there. Um, I need to go. I need to go help my daughter." But back with Jeremy and Aster, Jeremy and Aster are able to go to the underworld, and it turns out, yeah, unfortunately, Jeremy has conned Aster into going over there, and says, "You know what?" Jeremy tells Aster, I needed you to come so you can take my place. I can become human again, but you need to take my place and stay here." And then of course Aster's like, "Oh, I'm in it now. In big trouble." Going back to Lydia, Lydia has found out that Aster is in the underworld, or the dead world. That's what I'm gonna call it. And she's gonna summon Beetlejuice. And reluctantly, she don't want Beetlejuice, but she has to go get her daughter. She needs Beetlejuice help. So Lydia calls Beetlejuice's name at the house in the attic. Calls it 3 times. And Beetlejuice appears, acting crazy as usual, and and of course, Beetlejuice is gonna come up with a contract saying, "Well, you have to marry me if I want to help you." I'm like, Asher's like, "Okay, I'll marry you if you help me find my daughter." So Beetlejuice takes Lydia to go to the dead world, underworld, and to go look for Aster. Now, meanwhile, also, excuse me, Delia, Lydia's stepmom, has gone to the cemetery to do a ritual involving 2 snakes. She has them like in a jar or something. The snakes, when she does a ritual, the snake, and it has been told that she says that the fangs of the snakes have been taken out, but it is false. When she opens a jar in the cemetery, these 2 snakes bite Delia in the face, killing Delia. So now we're gonna go with Beetlejuice and Lydia, that they have gone to the dead world or underworld, and they're gonna go look for Aster, which they find Aster. Uh, Lydia kind of goes on her own. Beetlejuice goes somewhere else in the dead world, and I think he said Beetlejuice had to go to the restroom in the underworld, dead world. So Beetlejuice goes to the restroom. Excuse me. Lydia finds Aster, and and they run into they actually ran into Astor's dad, aka Lydia's ex-husband that has died, and he's working in the office in the dead world, helping out the dead or whatever. And he I just call him Astor's dad or not. Astor's dad has like piranhas in his. He has like three piranhas, one in his face and one in his chest, whatever. That he died going somewhere. I guess in South America or somewhere where they have piranhas, and he died that way. So they all get reunited. Astor and Lydia, and AKA Lydia's husband, AKA Astor's dad, they get together and they're able to go look for a place where they find a machine with coffee. And Astor's dad, Lydia, they find a table somewhere, and they reunite as a family, so it's cute. And they start drinking coffee. Astor's dad, he says he's gonna help them out one way or the other. Delia and Dolores. Let's not forget Dolores. Dolores is Beetlejuice's ex-wife. She's still taking out souls. She's looking for Beetlejuice. It looks like she wants revenge on Beetlejuice, and there is they do go through a flashback, a Dolores flashback showing that Beetlejuice was human at one time, and he marries Dolores, and Dolores took his life. She killed him. Uh, we're gonna find Delia's dead, so she is now in the dead, aka underworld. And goes to the secretary at the office, which they usually do take a number. Delia, y'all remember that in the office, and Delia's like, I want to find my husband Howard. I want to find him. He's gonna help me get out of here. I know he has connections down here. He's very good at that. So Delia's complaining to the secretary. She has her husband in high places, and the secretary like just kind of tells her stuff to ignore her. Honey, just forget over it, kind of deal. So Delia's there too, and Delia does at one point see Astor and Lydia, and again Dolores is looking for Beetlejuice, and Delia and Lydia end up. I'm sorry, Lydia and Astor end up. They do end up leaving find a way to go out of the underworld. Jeremy's down there, and Jeremy is trying to try. I don't know how he's getting a ticket to get out of there because Astor has now replaced him in the underworld. He needed Astor to stay so he can leave. He's getting a ticket somewhere and all that. And I guess I'll tell you what happened with Jeremy, and I'm gonna end it so no spoiler ending, because there's still not the ending, but it's close. But no, well, I'm gonna leave it there. Excuse me. And I said I was not gonna spoil the ending, so I guess what part I was gonna say is part of the ending, but oh well, I'm gonna end it there. So you need to find out what happens to Jeremy, what happens to Astor and Lydia, what happens to Dolores going after Beetlejuice, what's gonna happen, all that. Those are all spoiler endings, so I'm just gonna go ahead and end it here. Delia, will she get out of the underworld? You have to find out. And I would like to tell you guys the ending, but it's like I should, because well, I'm gonna tell you. Well, anyways, that's in there. I will explain now. Then that's the end of the review, because I'm not gonna spoil the ending like I promised. But I will comment and tell you extra parts, because I just gave you the gist of it. But I will tell you a little bit more extra parts or what I remember. And I'm gonna give you the comments, as well as the comments I'm gonna tell you about Beetlejuice 2024. This movie is really weird, really wacky. And the thing is, you could see a movie in a weird way, in a good way. But to me, this was a movie too wacky and weird in a bad way. It was a turn off. It did not have the magic of Beetlejuice from 1988. It didn't. The only thing I could say about it is at least they made a Beetlejuice movie and we saw I saw extra stuff. There was a couple of cool things. I think Beetlejuice comes out as a snake again, doing the rail thing, like a rail. The rail was, I don't know. Did you do this in part one, where there's stairs and there's like rails you can hang on and it turns into a snake kind of deal? Did you do that in part one as well? I don't remember. I did see it, Beetlejuice again. I seen it a couple of times. I do have the DVD of the first Beetlejuice, and I fell asleep at the end. And I'm sick, man. So I have to sleep every 4 hours and stuff. You will see a Beetlejuice baby a couple of times. It's kind of weird and creepy, not in a good way. I don't know. Yeah, dude, I like creepy stuff, man, but not this bad. It just didn't. It just didn't make sense. It just was. It just did not have the magic of the Beetlejuice 1988. Like 1988, Beetlejuice is as a day, oh day, the singing of that. That was really cool. They had a cool song. That's what made them help make the movie. Here, Beetlejuice does sing, and it's not even him singing; it's something else, and it's stupid, crappy songs. You are gonna have like part one, the offices. Uh, Another thing, Beetlejuice has a shrunken head guy from part one, but his name's Bob. He has like a hundred teeth with a shrunken head, and then they have other shrunken head guys working for Beetlejuice, but the main one is Bob. I guess he's helping Beetlejuice with his business of helping dead people or whatever. What else? The office scenes, the dead office scenes from part one. They have office scenes here. We have dead secretaries and stuff. They will show the skeleton secretaries typing away and all that. Um, the effects are pretty good, but all movies have good effects now. It's gonna be, I don't know. It kind of, I think everything looked kind of like what you could have done in 1980. The technology, to me, nothing's really changed. There is, I don't know. I don't know that this guy come out in part one. There's an office guy that's been flattened by a car, and he works in the office. And there's like a clothes hanger taking him, and he's taking him to a wall, and there's like an opening for him to go through. I don't remember that guy came out in part one or not. That was pretty funny, pretty cool. Dead secretaries, they're all like purplish. You will see new dead ghouls and stuff like that. I think Danny DeVito has a part as a. I think he comes out as a ghoul in the dead world. Um, what else? Delia dies and goes to the underworld. I didn't see that coming. Uh, Unfortunately, Adam and Barbara, the ghouls from part one that haunt the house, uh, in part one, they are not. How did they move on? They're ghosts. Um, you have Dolores sucking out souls from dead people in the underworld. It's kind of weird. It's like how do you killing dead people, making them more dead. So I don't remember which is the one, part one or this one, where there's a janitor and they're like, that's, don't, there's like a janitor when they go in to the dead world in the office or back, there's like a janitor mopping and stuff. And he says, don't go in that room, there's dead souls or whatever. And then they go up. And you see like souls going up in that room screaming, ghosts and all that. I almost forgot there is an investigator, a ghoul investigator from the underworld, dead world, and he's over there investigating stuff. And mm, I think he talks to Beetlejuice in the beginning, investigating stuff. I don't know. He does come out at the end too, and I guess that's all I have to say. If you go see it, you need to find out. Since I promised no spoiler ending, so I don't like to ruin new movies. It's still doing it right now at theaters. Find out what happens to Delia, Lydia, and Aster, Dolores, and Beetlejuice at the end, and the investigator's still around, and just see what happens then. So that concludes my review of Beetlejuice 2024. I hope you enjoyed my review. I hope you're not disappointed. I didn't give a spoiler ending, but I'm gonna put in the beginning spoiler ending. So whoever wants to be interested in a no spoiler ending review, that you don't have to see this, but I'm doing it for you guys. I will probably. I don't know. I would do a second review on this. I would probably do like 2 years later. You never know. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. I do have other movie reviews to do. So yeah, that's the end of 2024 Beetlejuice. I hope you guys enjoyed it. um, I'm gonna go ahead and leave you this. The world will never be a perfect place, but we can all make it better. Till next time, and so my next review. This is Alberto, aka Destroyer 48, signing off, and I will see you guys. Don't forget us like, share, and subscribe. I will see you guys on the next one. Bye. Take care. Have a good day.